to just finish up the introduction to Pascal, he has a comprehensive track record in the startup environment. He was head of sales and head of sales engineering at PayPal, global vice president, customer experience at Big Rep, and co-founded and managed Atento. Most interestingly, and why he's here today, is that he founded Helfen.Berlin, with which he helped 10,000 plus companies during times of Corona. I'm very excited that he joins us, as I repeatedly said before, because he will talk about this success story and how he built up this platform. So with further ado, I'll be out and be happy to have his story here.
Okay. So I'm Pascal Schreiber, founder and CEO of Original Hero, actually a company which we just incorporated 4 months ago. I'm very happy to have the chance to talk about how everything started, because it all started in March, really perfectly to the Corona crisis. And out of that, we built a company which is called Original Hero. And I want to explain how we actually created, during this time, more than 10,000 relationships to local SMBs within a couple of weeks. And this just by helping them to sustain during Corona. But let's start with that. We all know our local businesses and that they are really an essential part of our economy and our everyday life. So without the cities, Berlin would just not be like what Berlin is. We lose its identity and its uniqueness. So for us, the people behind Original Hero, for us, it's so important to keep this local businesses alive. And so our vision is always to support them, help them, so that they will stay part of our everyday life. Local SMBs are really challenged right now. So they have a really competitive price-driven market, and they're struggling to keep up with the digital world. Corporates, on the other side, they have lots of resources like complete teams, marketing teams, enterprise tools to actually go into the digital world and use this and provide a customer experience that the customers are more expecting. And this is not possible for like a single local SMB who just don't have these kind of know-how or capability to manage different multiple social media accounts or keep up with the next new digital trend which is coming, which is there and which is demanded by their customers. And that's a big problem which we want to actually conquer. And we saw, especially during the COVID-19 lockdown, that this situation is getting even more acute. So this great lockdown had a huge impact on the small businesses because they just immediately like just lose them completely sales channel, their main sales channel. Sometimes it's the only sales channel they had. And so they were really like under big pressure. And this is what we have seen immediately. And we immediately understand that we can do something. We have the knowledge, we have the technology, the systems to do something so that these businesses can actually create or get another source of income so that they can actually survive. So how everything started is actually we have 3 people in the beginning who just had the same idea in the same city in different areas though. But we we never met each other before, but during this time through the network, we actually immediately connected and actually understood, okay, we have to do it together. And this is what we did. So we immediately joined forces. This was on a Wednesday. And one of Oliver was an owner of a design agency, but also as a co-working space with help. Carsten had a communication agency, and I was the one with the gift card system and the tech understanding behind. And we together just started this movement, and without like a lot of meetings, we just started to work day and night, talked about that with in our network, and so also the team was growing by supporters on an hourly base, you can say. And with this, with even more people who supported that, the project were like, we had like more people from different fields who helped us to push this project further. And yeah, and so we were able to start this platform, Health in Berlin, this first one, like on the first day, with 150 merchants already. Besides that, we talked a lot to the outside. So we spread the world, the small world of Berlin, and really like, yeah, made sure that everybody was knowing about this. So we used like a lot of media, a lot of press contacts and journalists, but we also like did a lot of kind of, I would say, in parallel, multiple guerrilla marketing campaigns within the city. So we were using billboards, we're using like digital advertising, which we were happy about, because in our network we had people providing this kind of marketing sources for free during that time. But we also like just used little flyers which we were putting on the closed stores, and so this was creating already like a network effect and a viral effect. Besides that, business owners, when they signed up, they received an image with a QR code. This kind of little flyer they also can put on, they were supposed to put on their shop window, so people can scan it and actually buy gift cards. And eventually, like, we actually kind of like, the city of Berlin was completely spread with our little flyers and big billboards, and so there was like really no chance that that we're not able to recognize that Health in Berlin was there. Another trick, another thing was making these, or like was pushing this viral effect, was that any like business who signed up received a link, like a shop link to their kind of gift card shop. Because the system what it created, and actually we built that through the night, was that we actually created shops, gift card shops within the batch process. So we were basically like importing information about businesses, and the system was bringing out shop links, which we sent automatically to the businesses, so they can actually put it on their websites and their social medias and so on. So also these kind of little small channels, like marketing channels from them, were like they were able to spread it as well. And in the end, this actually made nearly 20% of the whole gift card volume of the platform. But also the press loved us from the beginning. Actually, we had like a coverage from all the big kind of newspapers in Berlin, who immediately understood, okay, this is something really interesting, and they want to support this. We had like kind of also like in the TV, in the news center, in the news stations, they were interviewing these businesses. The good thing is they all had a bit of time, and they had like they also wanted to look for something good to report about it, not only about the bad stuff about Corona. So that also helped us and helped the businesses to survive. And everything was kind of especially in Berlin, under the topic, actually we can do that together. We will do it together, we will survive together, and we will make sure that Berlin will stay like it is. So in the end, you can say like Health in Berlin was like a catalyst to support shops, restaurants, and other merchants, like any kind of local SMB you can imagine, who did sign up for Health in Berlin for a lot of different kind of fields. And we created a kind of a bottom-up effect. So customers who became Health in Berlin businesses, they also were ambassadors, and they reached out to their favorite places and said to them, okay, actually you should also sign up for that, because it's a good thing, it's helping. And the result out of that was like that actually Like we had like hundreds of shop signups within every day, and in the end, like more than 2,600 shops actually by end of July who used or signed up for the platform, so that people can actually support them and buy gift cards. And like I said in the beginning, yeah, like also this possibility that the businesses can also like promote it themselves. So they were not just like depending on us. We also provide them this link so they can actually, we are also able to become active. And so the consumers, the customers, but also the business owners, they all were talking about it and spreading the word about it. So it truly was getting viral. A little side story is like what was really also like very. I had this call in the middle of this whole movement, and it was like a call was like actually like a merchant out of the Spreewald. I'm not sure if you all know the Spreewald. The Spreewald is like a little area out of Berlin, a bit more far away from Berlin, but very famous for their pickles. And this guy was truly a non-tech savvy business owner. And he never, I had a call with him and he was so thankful that we built this stuff and made it possible. And he never would have imagined that something like this is possible and that he actually like is just signing up and people actually like buying vouchers. He gets the money immediately. This is like first showing us, okay, actually we are able to reach even these little non-tech savvy business owners with our solution, which was great. And I really think it was also like part of the success that we made it that easy and that uncomplicated for them. So now we talked a lot about the businesses and how they sign up and how we spread it, but obviously there were two sides. The other side were the customers itself, the people who bought the gift cards for their favorite places and for themselves, for their families, for their employees, sometimes even, or just as a donation. So let's change a little bit the perspective and look into the numbers we reached. So I can already say, okay, we reached 1 million, but I wanted to ask you, how long do you think that it take to get to the 1 million? I cannot hear anything. There. Okay. I'm just continuing. So I'm going further. I'm not sure if this question was going well, but okay. So actually, I just I tried to give a little bit of a sense how quickly it was going. So of course, obviously, we actually made it. Yeah. So we met, the three of us met or like around the phone together and said, okay, we want to do it. And we gave us ourselves like 10 days, 3 days to actually provide and publish this platform, which we did. And after the first 24 hours, not even 24 hours, we actually already like sold gift cards in the worth of 10,000 euro, which was kind of close. Yeah, so we expected a bit more in total, but you can say in the second day we had already 30,000 euro, and this was kind of the thing where you said, okay, when we reach 30,000 euro in total, this is nice, so it made fun, so it was worth it. We never would have expected that this is going even much higher. So on the first day we already like sold 100,000 euro. After 1 week, we already hit the quarter of a million mark. After 2 weeks, 660,000, and finally, or like the million actually passed not even within a month. After 25 days, we already sold like 1 million vouchers in the worth of 1 million, with a high ratio of donation vouchers from people who just said, okay, actually, I want to make sure these businesses are there, and they will stay there, and they will be there after Corona. So this was just crazy, and so it's like, and gives like kind of a feeling how what the spirit and the speed was about this project, which was actually also needed and necessary. The interesting part is, besides Helfen Berlin, was also like actually we built like a lot of communities outside of Berlin, because in parallel on side of all these like the platform, the management platform, Make It Big and sell gift cards, a lot of different other cities, regions, and also corporates like other companies asked us to do the same. Yeah. For example, the Sparkasse, just 1 week after we launched Helfen Berlin, they reach out to me and say, actually, yeah, we want to do the same, and actually we want to do it German-wide within all our 379 regions. And what can I say? Then the second week, the week after, I had some more sleepless nights, but we made it as well. So even after 2 weeks, after the launch of Helfen Berlin, Gemeinsam dadurch, which was the German-wide platform from the Sparkasse, launched as well, and created a lot of businesses, even more than Helfen Berlin. So in the end, I think only this platform reached more than 5,000 businesses who signed up for the service. And even outside of Germany, we had like requests from Austria, from Switzerland, from Spain, Italy, even South Africa and Estonia. So it was really like going completely beyond Europe even. And we were just not able to help anybody. We built a platform in Vienna, and we built a platform in Mallorca, or like we supported them. But like everything what was like involved with currency conversion was just not doable with our small team, unfortunately. But the good thing is we saw a lot of copycats also coming up, also in different areas, which we were happy about, because the whole meaning behind this project was to help and to put something which is helping the businesses. So any little copycat for another regions where we were not able to support them because of our limited resources, we're good to have other people actually to copying it or to do the same and actually providing another solution. So in the end, you can say Helfen Berlin really was a model for sustainable local impact. So just like some final numbers, the platform is actually still there. You can still buy gift cards, but it was completely going down, which was good because the businesses were able to open, which is the best that can happen. But in total, we reached actually like 1.6 million in total gift card volume until like to the end of July. And like I said, we actually were thinking about like, okay, when we do the need 30,000 euro in total, we are actually happy. In the end, we were able to say, okay, some of our merchants, and actually a couple of, they were able to pay like 3 to 4 salaries with the money they received through this voucher sale. And this is like, it really has a direct sustainable impact to the economy and even to the employment rate, you can say. We never would have imagined that. In Berlin, we had like, in the end, like 2,600, 2,650 businesses signed up. In Germany, Vienna, Mallorca, all together, we had more than 10,000 businesses. We're using our kind of solution, which we put out there, so that they actually can, also build it in other regions very quickly. So we were like a lot of people asked us, and we asked ourselves, so what actually were the success factors about Helfen Berlin and the others. So what was the success behind? And actually, I think it's truly hard to like say, okay, this is the one reason why it was successful. But I like kind of collected where I think and other people might think differently. So I think there is not this like list and you have to do that and that's coming. It's like a very unique event. But the top 5 success factors, I think, were actually like bringing that to the success, where like they say, okay, actually, we're keeping up the momentum. So we actually had the perfect solution for actually a complete new and really big problem. And we provided that in a really short time. So we actually like we focused on speed over protection. Speed was our highest priority. Put it out there, bring it out, and if there are bugs, the core function needs to work, so we can actually hold our like the message that we put out there, and everything which is like not working perfectly, we can fix it. We can fix it on the run, and this is what we did. Also, the team collaboration was from day one really intense. Any team member, the team was growing up to like 25 people in the end. But there was no like big onboarding process because there was just no time for that. It was just like, okay, people were reaching out to us that they want to help. And we said, okay, then let's help. We were giving them a little introduction. So this is what we do. This is where we might need help. And so people just took ownership and did what was needed. And that was just working completely automatically. Another point was definitely that we spread the word. So actually we really put everything out there. We're working together with a lot of press, where all the people working on this project were talking about it. So in German, there's like, you say like, tu Gutes und sprich darüber. So do good things and talk about it. And that's what we did. And this was definitely also like one of the main success factors. So people realize there's something. And also like that we actually from the first day also we're focusing on partnerships. This companies, this media channels who were actually established and had like another reach than we are. Even when we actually did already like a lot of like exposure through social media, but was definitely helping to have partners like the RBB, which is the big media channel here, or the Sparkasse, for doing that in Germany. So, and then the good thing is like the post-lockdown phase begins, and actually we were thinking about, okay, what should we do now? Should we like just close it down and the sites are perfect that they did their job, which was basically true, but this is like we actually thought about it and said, okay, actually we want to continue with that. We want to actually do more things for helping, for supporting these unique places with solutions, with ideas, with our knowledge that we are good at, especially after getting so much good feedback. And so we founded a company which is called Regional Hero. And so I'm kind of closing the loop. And this was like actually the company, like I said, was incorporated end of May. And the goal of this company is to provide actually digital solutions with a regional focus. And also here we focus on these established regional partners, but also on other partners that we like were established doing the whole project. And we really believe in a community-driven approach together with the local SMBs. So what we do with Vision Hero is actually we built already in the first versions like a control cockpit for local SMBs, so they can actually use the newest digital solutions, the same what enterprise corporates are using, so they can actually shine and use it like the big ones, and we make it easy for them so they can actually focus on their core business, because we truly believe that these local businesses are therefore focusing on small, really like unique products, what they are doing, and they shouldn't like focus too much to learn about all the digital solutions out there. As well, together we also want to like actually keep our social DNA. Yeah, so the whole project was coming out of a social project, and this we want to keep within this company. It is a business in the end, what we are created right now, but at the same time we want to give something back, or we'll continue to give something back, and we like want to focus on the whole region. And therefore, we actually, as a first also product out of that, we actually like releasing the Das B card. The Das B card is kind of the opposite of the Helfen Berlin platform, you can say, in terms of function. So when you say, okay, for Helfen Berlin platform, where like everybody was there for once, anybody could buy a gift card for one favorite store or for multiples, but they picked one. This card is actually one card for all. So it has another effect to say, actually, with this card, we bring the people in these places again, so they can actually spend their money and actually, yeah, go to the places and not like spending their money on big online marketplaces. And with this card, we actually have a lot of plans. We're actually building a complete local network of businesses and consumers within Berlin. Right now, we have already more than 2,500 cards out there, and people can use them in their favorite stores to sell something and to spend their money. And we saw actually a lot of employees using that card to give it to the gift as a gift to their employees. The employers were buying it to give to as a gift to their employees, like a birthday gift or like a kind of graduation. And this was really interesting. So also the big companies, the big employers in Berlin were actually using that to also like support the local economy with that. And this was really, really great to see that we actually established that and that it was already like going into a success story as well. And as the last sentence, I also want to say this card is also like, this has this touch of also like to being social. So a lot of gift card companies using gift cards actually counting on the money which somebody is not spending, which is like actually is expiring after a while. The money on this card, which is like actually expiring, will go to the city to like actually social projects, which is like then, and this is what I meant in the beginning. So we really made this kind of a card with a social aspect, so anybody within one region will actually have something out of that. And this is actually where my presentation comes to an end. I still cannot hear anything, so it was kind of a tough presentation, not get any feedback, but I hope anybody anybody could understand what I was saying. And now I am kind of hope that I can receive questions somehow.
Now we know Pascal can see me. I hope you guys can hear me.
See, there's a lot of comments. Okay.
But yeah, the questions being raised and the question that reached me directly, I sent it to Pascal. So Pascal should know that he has some questions to answer. I will try to make him kind of aware that he knows where to find them, and I hopefully think that he did. So
what like just trying to go over the questions. So I'm starting maybe with like the industry, which made the most money. Interesting questions. Maybe I try to answer. Actually, I cannot say which industry was making the most money, but I can say the top 3 of the merchants were completely different industries. We had actually one from the gastronomy. We had like one kind of hairdresser, and the other one was kind of a shop. No, not a shop, a cinema, actually, the cinema. So these were the top 3, and they all made more than 10,000 euro in gift card volumes only for their business. And also like in the top 10, which was the most interesting business, was like a little bar, which is called like in German, like the Straßenbahn bar. I think they like their website was looking like from the 80s, but they really were in the top 10. So there really a lot of people who actually like wanted to support them. I'm just jumping directly to the next question. How did you apply and approach platform built in Germany efficiently in other countries? The thing is, we didn't. We supported them. So actually, these people were coming to us, or we also like actually made possible that they were able to do that as quick as possible. So we kind of built, we actually like made out of our system a kind of installer package. So we could provide it to them, so they can use it for their region, for their city, for their country, and because we wanted to make sure that they can help as well. And this was actually also like a big learning from us, that that you cannot, like, especially in these fields, and I'm kind of like working in this fields with local business since 7 years. It's really, really hard to actually approach them and work together with them when you are not in the region. So, like, giving an example, when we said, okay, we want to build the same for Munich, I think it's not possible out of Berlin. But the people in Munich, which we actually, which we also support there, they were able to do that because they know the people and they know the local media agencies, and this was also did with other countries. Do you think the success could have happened if you would have been in other cities than Berlin? I think yes. I think it depends on the, and of course, it depends a bit on the size. And I think that one of the main things was really like the speed. I think Health in Berlin, among other platforms that were coming up, was just the first one, and maybe also like the spirit of the people in Berlin, that they were like so open to help, also helped a bit, and the size of Berlin as a city in Germany also helped. But actually, like Munich was by far not that successful, but they were also like 2 weeks later, and I think that was making a big difference. Could you summarize the numbers that you achieved? How many countries, how many businesses, how much money made by companies? So in total, we were like supporting 40 initiatives out there, the most of them in Germany. Outside of Germany, we had like, it was not like in the title like 10 countries. We had like 3 countries, was Germany, Austria, and Spain. We had the possibility to support probably 10 when we had like 5 times the size of our team, probably. But yeah, but like 40 in total, and especially with the Sparkassen project, which also was intense. We already like the Sparkasse itself. We had like really like a parallel software. We actually cloned the complete system for them and to support their 390 regions, just for the Sparkasse. How much money made by companies? That's really hard to guess. So we had like, I would say, like we had really like companies who made like more than 10,000 euro in volume. Of course, we also had companies who never sold any voucher. I think when you could summarize, this is really like more a hard guess and a bit more out of my what I remember. You can say an average from these 10,000 companies, they actually made 2 million in total, you can say, and for 10,000 companies, you can actually do the math there. Was it a problem to sell your innovative digital platform to small business owners that do not have a profound digital knowledge? No, it wasn't. That's the interesting part. So actually, like because the people just did in this time. So before this time, before this lockdown, I was already like trying to sell a similar solution, and it was much harder to explain, and there are a lot of questions and a lot of hesitations. But with this pressure and with this priority, okay, my business is actually dead. I have time and I make no money when I'm not reacting. It was not a big problem to like say, okay, there's a solution, and actually you get the full money. Yeah, people spend 50 euro, you will get 50 euro. That is that easy, and I think that was also like, why should you think about that? right? So so like I said, even like completely non-tech savvy owners, they for sure they had sometimes a bit like, okay, do I really get the money? Is it like safe? Because we also like in the middle of this time, we also had businesses who told us that there are like a lot of people out there who actually like were doing fraud and were using this time for actually like reaching out to businesses to not in a good phase, but actually to get money out of them and like in doing fraud. So we also had this, and of course people were also like asking sometimes 3-4 times, making sure that's not the case for us as well. But I think we had a good one there too, and with a trust advantage with that. And also like partnering with Sparkasse is also helping a lot to giving trust as well, for example. What marketing channels did you use? A lot of offline as well, like they said with the press, and this is also like when you like focus on a region and you can focus on Berlin, you can work with these regional media channels, and they are happy to help, and they did it for free. So this was definitely helpful. Also, like actually bringing it into the city with like flyers, with billboards was helping a lot. But also like actually pushing Instagram, like our Instagram channel. I think in the end we reached like nearly 5,000 followers, and it's also like in a quick, just in this time. Having Facebook and actually have this effect of anybody, any business, any person, they're able to just share it. And I think this was also making a big effect that like any business that can just imagine, like I would say an average business also has like 2,000-3,000 followers on their social media channels. And then like you have 2,000 businesses and anybody has an average 2,000 followers and they all spread the link. That's like, that's also going big then. How do you scale your platform? What are the next steps? So our next steps is actually like right now, so out of that, we really truly believe focusing on regions and having people kind of on the ground. So yeah, you're doing like regional solutions when you're there. And so we are in Berlin, so we are focusing on Berlin ourselves, but on the same side, we are actually building a tool which we can also bring to other regions and which we are providing sometimes new regional partners. And this is how we want to actually like scale it to say, okay, things which we are like, but testing in Berlin, which are successful, we are bringing to the other regions with people who are also in these other regions, who are there and operating the systems. And we actually want to do the same even outside of Germany when it starts and go into Europe with that. That was the last question. Okay. So yeah, last words I can say. Thank you for listening to me. I hope it was like interesting and I hope I was like able to give you a little insights about my last 7 months, which were like really intense, but actually I loved it. And I can't say it too loud, but when the lockdown was going down, the crisis was going down, I was a bit sad because I really loved the pressure and the energy. Like I said, I can't say it too loud because obviously on the other side I don't, and I'm happy that's over. Yes, I'm happy to connect or like I also answer questions. If there are like more questions, you can directly contact me through the kind of social networks like Xing and LinkedIn, or write an email, or just like give me a call. For me, what I'm like, maybe the real last word was what I wanted to share. I really liked that things were really so complicated and the things were just possible. And I think we showed during that time that sometimes quick decisions without overthinking too much are really driving. Let things create, and like so we are able to build things very quickly. And sometimes there is not a big risk, but a huge opportunity for just doing things. And I really hope that this is also an example which like was showing that, and actually maybe we can also like bring something into the time without a crisis and actually doing the same, without having a crisis.
Yeah, I mean, it was the enabler, but we definitely don't wish another crisis like that, I guess. So again, thank you all. Thank you, Pascal, for joining us. Very amazing story. And yeah, please feel free. I can only repeat myself every time. Join us in the networking area. Pascal will be there as well. And yeah, maybe you can get into direct contact with him right away.
And I can even talk and hear. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, guys. See you later.